My name is Joey Hansen, and my Mars lander project is called the Rover. To start with, I am going to show you all the parts we used. Here are the wooden dowels we used to build the exoskeleton. There were two 48-inch long, half-inch wide dowels, and 5 48-inch long, quarter-inch wide dowels. I used the whole roll of electrical tape, 3 packages of rubber bands, and 1 aluminum pan for the frame. For the parachute, I used a large vinyl tablecloth, lots of washers for the eyelets, and some black ribbon to attach the parachute to the frame. We also used tons of duct tape, 2 aluminum pans for the main body of the lander, and tons of balloons for airbags. Last but not least, safety goggles for me and my dad. We started by measuring the large dowels and cutting them to size. This part was fun. I got to use my dad's miter saw. We drilled holes into the big dowels, as you can see here. We also cut up smaller dowels and used them to build the top part of the frame. We attached them to the holes we drilled in the bottom part of the frame. We used electrical tape to attach the top of the frame, and I thought it would be a good idea to wrap more electrical tape around the skinny dowels to make them stronger. That took forever. Once we built the frame, we dropped it a few times, and we saw that it was falling over. So we cut more big dowels and had them stick out on the bottom to make it harder for the whole thing to flip over. That seemed to work, so then we built our parachute. We measured it and cut it, and then we used duct tape around the edges to make it stronger. We used more duct tape to make the eyelets and attach them all around the parachute. Now it's time to build the payload, the main guts of the lander. We had to attach eyelets to that too, because I wanted to suspend the entire payload inside the frame. There was lots of measuring, cutting, and building, and I had to poke lots of holes in the tape for the eyelets. Once we had all the eyelets made, I threaded rubber bands through them each and secured the whole thing with more duct tape. Then we got to the fun part, suspending the payload inside the frame with the rubber bands. We used dozens of them, and it took a long time to get it right. Now that we had the payload suspended, we had to add the airbags. We blew up a bunch of balloons, but just a little bit, so they would be really soft, and started gluing them on the inside of the payload. It was finally time to put our egg in and do some testing. Drop test number 1, from 3 feet. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, open her up. Gently to support the egg.
Let's see.
And we have one intact egg.
Is it cracked at all?
Drop test
Our first test was from 3 feet, and it worked great. The egg survived. Then my dad tested it from 5 feet. Then that worked great too. The egg was still okay. We were done for the night.
It's a very good egg. All right.
The next day, we noticed the rubber bands had torn the duct tape loose, so we had to redesign the payload to make it stronger. This time, we used less eyelets because we didn't think we needed so many. This is what it looked like when we finished it the second time. We added the rubber bands and put it back together. Now we had to glue more balloons into the new payload, and this time we used even more. It was time to finish the parachute, and so we poked the holes in the eyelets and attached them to the strings. We were ready for the big test. My brother Sean and my sister Isabel helped a lot. We used a fishing hook to hang the whole thing from a pole, and then we started our tests. Now.
Okay, here's our egg. Here is our exoskeleton. Here is our ship, our payload. We are putting our egg in here now. And we are closing everything up.
1, 2, 3. Dang it.
We went back and made some changes and added 3 cups of M&Ms to the feed so that it wouldn't tip over this time.
3.
Oh! You almost hit me!
Okay, we got a good landing. Come on over here.
Now check on
Let's take a look. And let's see what kind of shape our egg is in. Dun dun dun. We have one perfectly intact egg. And just to
Now that we knew our design would protect the egg, we started building the last part, the shell. We also decided to slightly change the way we attached the parachute so it wouldn't get tangled as easily. We put the sides on, spray painted the whole thing, and attached the pouch to the parachute. The Rover and Rover was finally finished.
Oh! All right, it's a real egg. All right,
You got me in the arm!
Get a shot of Joe. Take a look at him. Good job. Hey, good project.
Thanks for looking at my project. We had a lot of fun doing it. Now, I only hope I get an A.